On this episode of Carnage, this is happening. This. So if you've been watching the Supermang videos, you'll know that our intake temperatures get super high. So we're combating that with this very bodgy intercooler setup. It is a cheap eBay barrel cooler. Oh, that is so cool. We've been running ice through a Bosch intercooler pump, ice water. We've got just like this aeroflow water to air heat exchanger thing. Yeah, it should work. Hopefully it'll work. Well, just judging that of its temperature, it's going to work. One thing we have noticed is all these silicons suck in hard when you fire it up. So you fire it up, all the silicons go, and then you step on the throttle and boost comes into play and they all go boop. So yeah, I don't know if we're going to be blowing silicons off left, right and center. This could be a massive fail, do not know. But what we do know is when we do this properly, we're going to have to make all these intercooler pipes out of aluminium with minimal silicon, because otherwise, yeah, there's going to be sucking in and out all the time. And that does not sound like a good time. It both sucks and blows. So we just got a little switch on the pump wired directly to the battery. It's flowing this ice water. So we've got a 70-litre bucket here of ice water to circulate through the system. All right. We just put a switch on there just in case something went awry and we had to shut it down. So yeah, that's what we've done there. We've got some nice Jack Daniels cooling here in the tub as well. Hopefully they don't get too warm later on. But I think it's time to see how this goes. We're under a kind of a time limit here. The boys have to go off to a Christmas dinner. It is only a couple of days before Christmas. This is our last video of the year. So let's see the Supermang do something awesome. I swear, that is so cold. I think I deserve it. So basically it's same power as before, less boost and super rich. It is super rich right now because the inlet temp is so cold, it's very rich. So we're seeing instant results. We're seeing more power. We're almost at the 300 rear wheel horsepower mark. And you can see we've lost a little boost. We're down into sort of 8.5 pounds and then dropping down and that sort of thing. Obviously all this takes a little boost out of it, you know, because it's got this big intake path to fill now. But you feel this side straight out of the blower and you're like, ooh, ouchie, that's really hot. And then you feel this side and wow, that is quite cool. And like the barrel is super cool. That is so cold. So it works. This actually works. And the intake temps are down, Zane reckons during a run, intake temps are about 48 degrees instead of 110. So we've taken like 60 degrees out of this thing. But we've kind of run out of time too. The boys have to go off to a Christmas dinner, run out of time right now. But we're gonna come back first thing in the morning, run this thing up on the dyno, first thing, put the power pulley on it, and then we're gonna party. So, we'll be back here tomorrow. Okay, so it is the next day and the boys have generously offered to come in and help us with this, finish it off, which is great, you know, because they're on holiday, so yeah, this is gonna be awesome. Have a bit of fun today. We've got the 3.2 inch pulley on there at the moment. Unintercooled, it made 10.5 pounds. Intercooled, it's down to about 9 or just under and drops off. But, and Zane could map that till the cows come home and we might see 300 out of it. It's pretty close, it's at 292 right now. And I think we'd see 300 out of it, but that's not the pulley we're gonna use. So why put Zane through all that pain and anguish of mapping that out when we can put a smaller pulley on it? So, we're going to try the 2.9 inch, do a couple runs with that, A, just to see what sort of boost it makes, and B, see kind of where it could be in the horsepower rankings. And then we're going to the party pulley, 2.55 inch. That's going to be fun. So, all right, we're going to swap this in right now, and then we'll go to the big pulley after we do a couple passes with this. And also for curiosity's sake, I know a lot of you are probably wondering how much water this pump is moving. I haven't refilled it with ice yet. We've got like 9 bags of ice there to go. So, but this is, that's how much water is coming through. So it moves a decent amount of water. I should have mentioned too, we're experiencing a little bit of belt slip with this pulley right towards the end. So that belt was kind of marginal in terms of tightness. The other belt will be a lot smaller, so hopefully tighter. Oh no, the belt's too short. Crap. I think we need to go straight to the party pulley. All right, so we're going to try the old belt. I guarantee you though, it's going to be too loose. Let's have a look, just so we know. Yeah, see, I can slide it on without even using the tensioner. So, that's not going to work. It's on, but it's very tight. In fact, this tensioner is touching this idler, but I'm hoping that we can get enough belt stretch there to create some clearance. Let's see what happens if we start it up. It's not making any horrible noises, well, other than the fact that it's a V6 Commodore, but it's already clearanced itself. Yep, the belt has already stretched a tad, and it is now separated. There's clearance. Yay, happy days. Luckily, ice is on special at the moment. Worried about the numbers at the moment, I'm just looking at the boost. So the boost is about 14 psi, which is a bit lower than I expected, to be honest. Yeah, really surprised about that figure. I don't care about that. Don't care about that at the moment. That, 14 pounds. That is stupidly hot at the moment. I think it's too reflective to get a good reading off. Yeah, see if I measure there, it's saying 63 degrees coming out of the blower. Well, that's this part. That's cool to the touch. Yeah, it's hard to get a good reading because it's very hot down there. But yeah, that is definitely cool to the touch, and that is very hot. I knew it was going to happen sooner or later. Yeah. Okay, so what we're doing here is we've basically seen that we're building up pressure right there. So I'm thinking that this is a big restriction. So we know the water to air works. It's only a cheapy $150 eBay core. We're going to try an air to air core in there, sitting up high and proud, and see if that's less of a pressure drop. I want to see if we're getting more boost pressure through an air-to-air core than we are getting through this water-to-air core. It'll be an interesting little experiment. Let's give it a try. It is warm that side, but quite cool this side. So we know the intercooler works. We know the other intercooler works. We know that little barrel cooler works. And this is all very much a proof of concept thing. You know, obviously we had no intention of running this down the track in this form. You know, this is just us screwing about. And I kind of expected this intercooler to flow better than the other one. You know, it has a better flow path through the cooler. I expected to see less of a pressure drop through this, but it's not the case. I mean, the water to air did 14 pounds, this did 14 pounds. So, you know, the intercooler is not the restriction that we thought. We kind of expected to see more boost, especially with this party pulley. It is so small and it spins the blower that hard that we kind of expected to see, you know, 19 pounds, thereabouts, but we're not seeing that. Maybe that's a camshaft thing. Who knows? We know cams do make a difference. But we've got some work ahead of us. We're going to use the water to air intercooler. If I've got to choose between them, I'll go the water to air. We'll tuck it in behind the thermofan here. We'll do proper piping for it and we'll set it up there, maybe with the intermediate size pulley. I'm going to have to get a proper belt for it, intermediate pulley. We'll see how we go with that. But that'll happen in the new year, as will some fuel system upgrades, because it's only got a single in-tank pump and we're starting to run out of fuel system. So needs an extra fuel pump at least. So we've got some work ahead of us, and that's 2022 problems. But that brings us to the end of the year for Carnage, and it has been a pretty awful year for everyone, I think. 2021, we had such high hopes for 2021 after 2020, but it really didn't deliver, or it delivered in so many wrong ways. So I hope you guys all survived the year as good as you could. It has been a pretty terrible year, but hopefully 2022 is a better year for everyone. So have a great Christmas, have a great New Year's. This is the end of the year for us, but we will see you in 2022 on future episodes of Carnage.